Roblox developers and gamers alike love everything fights, which makes it understandable why war games are such a huge deal on the platform. Don't forget to watch today's video to the very end for the top 15 Roblox war games to play in 2022. Number 15. HEDGEROWS 2. HEDGEROWS 2 is set during World War II, where the Allies and the enemy fight off against each other to take control of several different points on the map. The game has some staggering and realistic graphics and is incredible. You will find realistic screens, motion effects, and some insanely detailed guns as well. The gameplay mechanics are sweet and you are going to love it. You will also find jeeps with realistic suspensions to drive around. There are tanks, parachutes, and even artillery strikes. Number 14. ENTRENCHED. ENTRENCHED is one of the rarest war games that you will like on Roblox. The best part about the game is that it is based on World War I and is a trench warfare game with two teams. Given the fact that trench warfare mechanics are super hard to make on Roblox, ENTRENCHED has exceeded the expectations and is so damn good. Number 13. Superhero Tycoon. Superhero Tycoon is not as much one of the least true Roblox fighting games and more of a simulator RPG type game with a bit of fighting thrown in there. There's a huge number of superheroes in the simulator from all different franchises, but mostly from Marvel and DC Comics. There's a number of special versions of the game that come packaged with different heroes, including some from comic franchises, not owned by either Marvel or DC. Give them all a try to find one with your favorite superhero available. Number 12. Super Power Fighting Simulator. Super Power Fighting Simulator is a very well-made Roblox fighting game with lots of customization and ways to get stronger. There are special transformations, bounties, dimensions, chests, quests, and even free VIP servers for players. People who have never played Roblox before should play Super Power Fighting Simulator to see what creators have been able to do in the engine. It's one of those good Roblox fighting games that still receives updates regularly too, meaning it will never get boring. Number 11. Bleeding Blades. Bleeding Blades is a game unlike any other fighting games in Roblox, taking inspiration from the Mount and Blade series, where players control both their character and their armies in battle. The game features multiple different armies, including Rome, Greece, and other ancient and medieval powers. While the game is currently in its alpha stage, it's nonetheless worth following as it gets more and more developed. Currently, the game features 3 battles: the Battle of Thermopylae, the Siege of Halicarnassus, and the Battle of Milvian Bridge. It's worth noting that the developers of Bleeding Blades base these maps and game modes on real-life events. Number 10. War Simulator. The game is all about defeating your enemies and earning cash. You can use cash to buy better weapons and armor to defeat more enemies. Your goal is to become the worthiest of all soldiers. Missions can help you get some money. When you're not the best equipment of your era, you can use your money to go in the next era. Once you are in the future era, you can rebirth. A good strategy is to keep a distance from the enemies and shoot, to prevent you from a major health loss. Grenades are very useful compared to other items for crowd control. After you defeated the soldiers and the tank, you will enter the high-level area. When you step in, it will be guarded by more powerful soldiers with heavier guns. Inside a base, there's a leader protected by even more powerful guards. This is more of a collection of games rather than one specific game. War Simulator is its own series in Roblox, and they all cover various iconic battles, wars, and more. If you want the most comprehensive experience, then these are the ones to go for. Number 9. Zeppelin Wars. Zeppelin Wars is a game made by LolKiller101, in which 2 teams battle with Zeppelins in different maps featuring different game modes. It was inspired by MechWarrier's classic Zeppelin battle from 2008. Zeppelin Wars seeks to recreate a game where you can battle it out in the skies. The main objective of the game is to destroy the enemy Zeppelin. It follows the same principles of Zeppelin battles, involving aerial combat, and features 2 teams, pirates and air patrol. A different kind of war game in the skies, Zeppelin Wars, is inspired by an older Roblox game called Zeppelin Battle. You can choose to pilot the Zeppelin or just be a part of the crew. Either way, it's a cool, unique experience. Number 8. Counter BLOX. This is exactly what it seems like, almost to a T. There are only a few modes, but each map is certainly recognizable and has the same bleak color palette as those from the PC called Classic Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The gameplay is also fairly realistic. but you may find yourself questioning if some hitboxes actually cause damage. It's one of the millions of unique, user-generated 3D experiences created on Roblox. Take part in a 5 vs 5 team-based firefight across a variety of maps spanning across the globe. Number 7. Bad Business. Bad Business on Roblox is a first-person shooting game. It's similar to Call of Duty and Battlefield with shooting, running, and sniping with different weapons. Bad Business Roblox is a game that pits players against each other in fast-paced 10 vs 10 combat in a variety of maps and arenas. You need to adjust your strategy and improve your skills for each match with a variety of weapons and equipment. Bad Business is one of the rare few that works hard to make you forget you're playing Roblox. The game has its own in-depth progression system, has a familiar loadout build structure, and rewards players loads of skins for completing challenges. Number 6. Arsenal. Arsenal is a first-person shooter game created by the Rolf community based on the arms race game mode in the video game Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The game was featured in the Egg Hunt 2019 Scrambled in Time and 7th Annual BLOXIA Awards events. The game was revamped in late 2018, which resulted in a large gain of players and visits. The former version is archived in a game called Arsenal Archived, and it can still be played. It is one of the most colorful games on this list. It doesn't try to replicate popular military shooters, with it being much more comedic, placing matches on a luxurious beachside, mansions, and even spaceships. Number 5. Phantom Forces. Phantom Forces is an FPS Roblox game with a modern feel to it. It is one of the most recognizable games on the platform. There are around half a dozen game modes ranging from Team Deathmatch to King of the Hill. This is definitely a military game for those who enjoy more recent shooters. It's safe to say that Phantom Forces is the best Roblox take on Call of Duty. The game has over 100 guns and a handful of complex, but eerily familiar maps to try them on. Number 4. Military Tycoon. In Military Tycoon, players take control of a military outfit. They must build their base, power up their military, and defend against other players. The game has multiple vehicles and weapons used to defend and attack. This first-person shooter differs dramatically from the rest, as the main goal is to increase your squad's base size. With more collected kills, your team will earn access to tanks, helicopters, and money to build additional rooms for your hideout. Number 3. D-Day. D-Day, also known as the Normandy Landings, was the landing operation on Tuesday, 6 June 1944, of the Allied invasion of Normandy during World War II. Codenamed Operation Neptune or Operation Overlord, it is the largest amphibious invasion in history. The operation had nearly 7,000 ships and landing vessels. More than 156,000 U.S., British, and Canadian troops landed at 5 beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, and Sword. These beaches were covered with advanced fortifications that had started an entire year earlier. The fortifications were 2,400 miles long with bunkers, landmines, and beach and water obstacles. The operation began the liberation of German-occupied France and later Western Europe. This operation was a victory for the Allied forces. Dangerous fact: it is estimated that the Nazis planted over 4 million landmines along Normandy's beaches. Number 2. Armored Patrol. Armored Patrol is a game made by Wingman 8. The game is about 2 teams, Bright Red and Bright Blue, fighting for control of flags using military vehicles and equipment. The game has over 66.2 million place visits and over 730,000 favorites. It is basically a vehicle-focused, military-style game in Roblox. Players fight for control of various flag objectives around each map. They use military vehicles and equipment to attack enemy positions and defend their own. Think of it as Call of Duty's domination with vehicles. Number 1. Call of Robloxia. Call of Robloxia is exactly what you think it is. This is the Roblox version of Call of Duty. There have been many entries in the series, taking note from the various COD games that have been released, such as Black Ops and World at War. Each comes with multiple modes, with team-based gameplay and a genuine military FPS feel that COD delivers. This isn't the Call of Duty experience you may believe it is, but it's reminiscent of the franchise's campaign mode. Here, you can create loadouts and storm beaches to go after waves of enemies with many players by your side. The environment is well designed, even for a Roblox game with numerous trenches, homes, and hills to strategically fire from. With that, we end today's video. Consider subscribing to our channel to join in on future content.